So I wanted to share this video about a scenario I just went through. I go through it a lot in the mortgage industry, and I figured if I put a video out, some people will find it of value. So it's regarding student loans and when applying for an FHA loan or with a VA loan. I'm not going to get into it in this video of how the income is calculated or anything like that. Most of the things I do is to put things in layman terms for you guys, because I don't want you to be a mortgage professional. I just want you to know kind of how to defend yourself when applying for one, or how to set yourself up for success when applying for any of the loan programs that are available for people to own property. In this particular video, we're going to do it on the FHA loan and student loans. So, and also the VA loan. So FHA and VA, that's what we call in the industry as government loans. Now, we can't go out and promote them as government loans, but that's just what we call them because they're backed by government agencies, right? So the FHA loan stands for Federal Housing Administration. It's right in the name. It's the Federal Housing Administration. So we call that a government loan. And likewise with the VA loan, we know that those loans are backed by the VA, by the VA funding fee and all that kind of good stuff. And the VA is the Department of Veteran Affairs. So that's what we call government loans. Now, you typically want to apply for an FHA loan or a government loan when you don't have the best credit in the world, because, you know, just life happens, and that's just what happens in this world. But you still want home ownership. You don't want to have to wait to get the super good credit score for your conventional loans or for any other program outside of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, which are non-QM loans. Non-QM loans. I want to make sure I'm talking clear. So when you're applying for a FHA loan or a VA loan, these government loans, they are more lenient towards not so perfect credit. So it's a great opportunity for you to achieve home ownership. And so maybe you have a late credit card, maybe you have a late car payment or something to that degree. Obviously not a recent bankruptcy, you know, within the first month, but just things that show life happens. You didn't go through something crazy, a foreclosure and like that in the last couple of months. However, you do have a few credit card lates, maybe a late car payment or something to that degree, right? Now, your chances of approval with FHA are still very high. That's why most mortgage professionals try to take you down that path. Also, if you have just higher debt, but we're not talking about debt in this scenario or in this video. So there is one delinquency, one late that you want to avoid altogether when you're applying for an FHA loan or a VA loan or a USDA loan, right? I forgot to include USDA. That's what they call a government loan. That loan, that delinquency that you don't want to have is a student loan debt, right? A student loan debt. If you have student loans and they're deferred, awesome. Keep them that way. Wait for the payments to come in. When the payments do come in, you want to make sure you pay those on time. That might disqualify you completely to getting an FHA loan or a VA loan if you get lates on those. And the reason is, you're probably wondering, like, why? I thought a car payment, you know, would be way worse, or whatever the case is, or my Amex payment might be worse. The problem with a student loan is that a student loan is also a government loan, right? Sally Mae is a government agency. And so what happens is when you're late with them and then you go to apply for a government loan through VA or through FHA, the Federal Housing Administration, they see that as a huge red flag. Red flag all over the place. They're thinking in their heads, the way they see it is, this person's already late on a loan we gave them for education. The chances of them being late on our mortgage are high. And you'll see, if you have a student loan, it's almost impossible to get approved if, you know, a decent amount of time hasn't passed. Depends on the situation. But you'll see other people getting approved for FHAs and you're wondering, what's wrong with me? That person has way worse credit. And it's probably because of your student late. If you guys have a student late, make sure to eliminate that completely if possible. But if that comes up on your registration with the DU or whatever the case is, your chances of approval are very, very low. All right. So if you have student loans, make those payments on time. If they're on deferment, keep them on deferment. It's the Mortgage King, so you know who said it.